Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today is part 2 of the best and worst luxury purchases I have ever made. If you missed part 1, I will tag it at the end of the video and link it down below in the description box in case you want to go back and check it out. I started by sharing a lot of my most used designer pieces, but today I am sharing a lot of my most beautiful designer pieces. We're starting with one of my regrets. This was the direct consequence of loving my Louis Vuitton on-the-go tote bag so much. The quality was impeccable, the size was perfect, I was getting so much use out of it and carrying it everywhere with me. When they launched more pastels the following summer, I felt like I needed a piece from that collection too. Clearly I'm a sucker for pastel pink, and I love pink and blue as a color combination with the ombre and purple. I fell in love with this color story. I knew I needed to have something, but I felt like it would be silly to buy another tote bag. Here's the problem. It's a little bit awkward to carry. So it comes with this top handle. It's very long and slim, but it's structured because of the bottom. So it almost seems like when you carry it from the top, it should sort of smush in a little bit. It should have been a little bit longer because you have to either carry it in your hand, maybe put it in the crook of your elbow. It's too short to really carry over the shoulder. It's right there in the armpit. Now inside, it does come with a shoulder strap. The strap itself is really cute. It has a buckle, so it's adjustable, and it's the same ombre color story. So it's purple and pink and blue. On one side, it has some beautiful gold hardware details with the LV logo, Louis Vuitton, and then right below is the little loop for the strap. Very easy to attach, and it adds some versatility to the bag. The problem here is that the short strap is not detachable, so it either has to hang in the front and you carry it just like this, or you can actually move it to the back so that this shorter strap is sort of rubbing up against you and you can wear it this way. I guess when I was trying it on in store, I didn't think that would bother me very much, but in reality, it does. I find it so awkward to carry, and I don't really wear this bag because of this strap, because it just sort of looks like it's not supposed to be there, like I accidentally forgot to remove it, even though you can't remove it. And then if you move it to the inside, it's just sort of rubbing up against you, and I don't want to accidentally ruin the leather or brush up against it too much. I don't want to scratch the strap. It has a really nice shape inside. It's pretty spacious. You do have one little slot for cards, and then it's really open. I find that when I wear this bag, or the few times that I've carried it out, instead of elevating the outfit, it detracts from the look. Maybe it's because mentally I feel sort of awkward carrying it. I feel like it doesn't sit quite right on my body, or I'm not really sure how to hold it properly. This is definitely one of my best luxury purchases and one of my most used handbags. It's one of the many designer pieces I purchased whenever I lived in Nashville because I worked at the Nordstrom. That particular store had so many little designer boutiques. We had YSL, Chanel, Dior, Gucci. It was a very luxurious Nordstrom. So I took full advantage of my employee discount. I don't know what compelled me to buy this bag at the time because we weren't going to a lot of fancy dinners. I wasn't going to brand events. I had a totally different life. But I'm very appreciative of my former self for buying this because since moving to Miami, I wear this bag constantly. Of course, it's this very sparkly clutch from YSL. When you look closely at the glitter, it's sort of iridescent, it photographs beautifully, it looks gorgeous in the light. It's the perfect festive, sparkly evening clutch. It's basically a giant wallet on chain. When you open it up, it has slots for all of your cards. There's also a shoulder strap, which is removable. So you can take out the chain and it gives you a little bit more room. You can't fit a ton of stuff in here. Even though it's pretty big, you can fit your phone, your cards, keys, maybe a lip gloss, and that's about it. There's not much more you can fit into this bag, but it goes with absolutely everything for a birthday, for a date night, girls' night out, New Year's Eve, holiday party. I always grab this bag. It has the gold hardware. This is basically black and sparkly, so it kind of goes with anything. I know there are plenty of people who would not be interested in paying a luxury price tag for a bag that isn't leather at all, but I'll tell you, it's one of my favorite features of this bag because it is incredibly durable. When I first took it out, I would lose some glitter and it would drop little pieces of sparkle everywhere. Not so much anymore. I honestly have no idea what this is even made of, but it feels indestructible. I feel like I could run this over with my car and it would look brand new. When I'm wearing this clutch, I am stress-free. I'm not concerned if somebody's going to accidentally brush up against me or spill something on this bag. If I accidentally spill something on this bag or drop it in the middle of the street, nothing happens to it. It's just incredibly durable, very high quality. I get so much use out of it for that reason. I wish it held a little bit more stuff, but that is my only complaint. I think it is so much fun to wear. Now let's do a quick designer belt roundup. I have some hits and misses here, and I think it will be pretty obvious why. I'm gonna start with my most used belt. This is from Celine. Definitely one of my best designer purchases because I get so much wear out of it. It's the teen size in white, so it's a skinny belt. It has a very small gold Celine Triomphe at the belt buckle. The white and gold goes with absolutely everything. I'm always wearing this belt with my white pants, linen pants, dress shorts, high-waisted jeans. Anytime I'm wearing pants or any sort of bottom that has an obvious belt loop where it would look like something was missing if I didn't have a belt, I almost always grab this Celine belt. I just know my cost per wear is really good, and I always feel like this elevates the look and it's very chic and creates a very cute outfit. So I always feel my most stylish self whenever I add this belt. I also really like this one from Chanel. I don't get as much use out of it, but I think it's very cute. It's black, a little bit thicker, more of a standard belt size, and it has a shiny black and gold CC logo at the belt buckle. So it's a larger CC, much more branded, but I don't think it's in your face. And because it's black on black, it's not as noticeable. If you weren't really staring at my waist, you probably wouldn't even notice that this is a Chanel belt. And I like the gold detail. I think it looks very fancy. I wish I got more use out of it. I'm still happy that I have it, especially because it can be tricky finding your specific size in belts at a Chanel boutique. They don't always have the best selection to choose from. So if you find something that you kind of like, feels like you have to just go ahead and snag it. I have a love-hate relationship now with my designer belt collection. When styled appropriately, I do think it can look very chic. Then other times it just sort of feels like a desperate, very unnecessary way to add a logo for no reason whatsoever. And I am talking about myself. Like, why did I need this pink Chanel belt? It is a very pretty shade of pink, and my belt collection gets much louder than this. You just wait. But I sort of look back on purchases like this and I think, why? Why did I need this? This was my very first designer belt purchase, and I picked this up during the height of the Gucci belt craze when all of the fashion girlies were rocking their Gucci belts. It has the old Gucci logo, and I actually think it's still very cute. It's a really beautiful kind of medium caramel tan. The only reason I don't really wear this anymore is because I don't have a bag or shoes that match. I could always style it with raffia, straw sandals, and a bag. I think that would look very cute, especially in Miami during summer or for a summer vacation. I don't hate this Gucci belt. I actually think it's still wearable. Even though it's no longer a huge trend, I would feel confident rocking this belt to this day. I should have stopped there, but I took it to the extreme. This belt reminds me of Real Housewives of Dallas. It's way over the top. It's the giant new Gigi logo with the pearls. Very gaudy, very unnecessary. Why did I spend my money on this belt? Someone please tell me. This is what happens when you scroll on Instagram and LTK too much. You end up falling down the rabbit hole and spending $1,000 on a Gucci belt with a huge buckle and pearls that you're gonna wear a handful of times, and then as soon as it goes out of style, you're never going to touch it ever again. I really try to steer clear of super trendy pieces like this now. It was a lesson, a hard lesson learned. Every so often when I remember that I even own this belt, I start thinking of ways that I could wear it or how I could style it so that it could be really fashionable, and I haven't come up with anything yet. So fingers crossed that the Gucci belt does make a hot comeback at some point, because then at least I'll be able to get more wear out of it. For now, it just sits in my closet, collects dust. This is one of my favorite purchases that is a little billboardish. It's from Fendi. Now I did purchase this from Gilt, so I didn't pay full price, but it is this giant tote bag. It's raffia with the black Fendi logo, and it is the perfect beach bag. I have a felt Etsy organizer in there to give it some compartments. It's so spacious, it fits all of your things. It's great for a day out if you're doing a day out at the beach, even a short weekend at the beach. This is always the bag that I take with me. In years past, when I've gone to swim week events where you're typically out all day, you might need a change of clothes, beauty products to touch up, and you just need to take all of your stuff with you. This has really come in handy anytime I'm going down to the beach to one of the South Beach hotels, whether I'm spending some time at the pool or whatever I'm doing. I love taking this bag with me. I use it a lot every single summer, and it doesn't have any major signs of wear. I thought it would be a lot harder to take care of, and it's just so Miami. This is another one of my regrets, and the common denominator here is that these are super trendy pieces that I saw all over social media, and I thought I had to have it too, just because everybody else had it. It's these Chloe sandals. I saw them so much, I figured they must be the most comfortable sandals ever created, and I stuck my foot in them and I tried to wear them around the apartment. I just felt like they were so uncomfortable. Not even once have they been worn outside, so they're still in brand new condition since I bought them years ago. I've thought about trying to sell them and get some of my money back since I haven't technically worn them out and they're still brand new. Just slipped my foot in them, that's it. If you own these sandals, can you please let me know? Do I just need to break them in? Is it worth keeping them and wearing them around the house until they're comfortable enough to wear out? Or do I need to cut my losses and get rid of them? I don't really wear flats. I feel sort of short whenever I wear flats, especially if I'm going out with my husband. So I typically like sandals that have a little block heel or maybe a wedge, just to give me maybe an inch or two. It doesn't have to be a high heel, but I don't really wear flats like this. I feel like I'm walking with my feet on the ground, like I'm too low. I promised you beautiful things, and these have got to be some of the most beautiful shoes in my collection. I love these sparkly booties. These are from Hervé. I bought them sort of randomly from Las Vegas years ago. I went into the boutique, I was just shopping around, I was on a trip with my husband. They were on sale. They were the only pair left, and they happened to be my size, so I went for it. They're actually some of the most comfortable boots to wear. I feel like I could walk a marathon. Probably couldn't run, but I could walk a marathon in these boots. They are such a soft, like buttery suede, and they have the little rhinestones all over them. They've held up really well over the years too, because I've gotten a lot of use out of them. I feel like I'm living out my pop star fantasy whenever I wear these boots, but they're really cool for a special event, maybe a girls' trip, girls' weekend, a concert, some sort of event where you're getting really dressed up and you're just going for it. The sparklier the better, the more rhinestones the better. These would be the perfect boots. This is the very first designer handbag I ever purchased, and it is still to this day one of my all-time favorite luxury splurges. It's this old Gucci bag. I don't even know the shape or what it's called. I picked this up on a weekend trip with my husband. We were visiting New York City, I think, for the first time together. We were shopping around a Century 21, and they had an LXR & Co. pop-up. So we were just looking around casually. I wasn't planning on splurging on a purse. They had a ton of Louis Vuitton luggage and a few different handbags, and I tried this on and I immediately fell in love with it. It was a little over $600, and I had saved up for that trip, and this was the one and only purchase I made, and I was so happy. I was like beaming. I could not stop smiling for the rest of our time in New York City. I felt so cool having my first Gucci bag. And what I love so much about it is the fact that it is used and that it is a secondhand vintage purse. Not only is it more sustainable shopping secondhand, but all of the flaws is what gives the bag its personality and its character. I don't have to worry about carrying it around and babying it, hoping that the leather doesn't get scratched. It carries a lot of stuff as well. It's a great little sack shape, so it's nice and smushy. It's not too structured. You can throw a camera, accessories, keys, wallet, phone, lipstick, anything that you would need out for the day will fit in this bag. And it's so comfortable to wear because the leather is so soft and it's just sort of mushy. I love carrying this bag. It's not too heavy either, so even when it's just sort of sitting on the shoulder, it's incredibly lightweight. I took it with me recently on my trip to New York City with Jazzy, and I have the memory of my first trip to New York City with my husband, so I love that I can associate all of these positive, happy memories with carrying this bag. It's so special to me for that reason. Not only is this little Givenchy bag one of my best luxury purchases, it's also one of my most used bags. It's very tiny and cute. For under $1,000, you really can't beat it. And I picked it up in pink. It's one of the most versatile bags in my collection. I have gotten so much use out of this. I wish I had picked it up in black. I do love the shade of pink. It's a very fun pop of color, but if it was black or white or tan, this might be one of my everyday bags because it's so versatile. It has a very long, thin shoulder strap, so you can wear it as a crossbody as well as just over the shoulder. You can remove this very easily and just carry it as a clutch. And then there's also a chain on the inside, which you can take out. And I like to style it with the chain attached to the center. Clips right onto the bottom of the Givenchy logo and it just sort of hangs there as an extra detail. I think that looks really cute. Or you can take the gold clip and attach it to the other side. You can also carry it as an evening bag with the chain. It's just so versatile. I think there are 5 or 6 different ways that you can carry this one tiny bag. Doesn't fit a lot. It barely fits my phone and keys, maybe a lipstick. It really does not fit a lot in there, but you can fit a phone. And then it also has this pocket in the back. There was a belt attachment sold separately that I didn't realize it was sold separate, so I don't have the belt. I'm not sure if it ever was made in the pink, but there's a little space in the back that you can actually thread a belt through and wear it as a belt bag. I feel like Inspector Gadget with this bag. There are so many different ways to use it and it's so cute. Last but certainly not least, the most beautiful handbag in my entire collection, my one and only Lady Dior. I first spotted this bag when I was on a trip to London with Florist London. I was shopping around Selfridges and I spotted the most beautiful piece of art that I think belongs in a museum. My only Lady Dior and my only handbag from Dior is this gorgeous, show-stopping, pink, sparkly rhinestone piece of jewelry of a bag. It honestly looks like it belongs behind a glass case. I could not believe that I was able to touch this bag, to try it on, to look at it, and that it was even for sale. It just wowed me when I first spotted it. I was instantly drawn to this bag. Of course, I had to go with the pink, and all of these little rhinestones and sparkles, when you look closely, they are embroidered on the bag. So none of the stones have fallen out. Not that I'm taking this bag out and going to the grocery store, but it still looks like it is in perfect, pristine condition. It's very heavy. It feels weighted because there's so much metal. Between all of the stones and the leather and the Dior charms, it's exceptionally heavy, even though it's a mini. It doesn't fit a ton of stuff inside. It has rose gold leather, which is a really nice touch. Also has a shoulder strap, which I've only taken this out a handful of times, and I don't like to use the shoulder strap because I don't want it just sort of hanging and swaying around and rubbing up against whatever I'm wearing. Not because I'm concerned about what I'm wearing, but I'm concerned for the bag. This is a bag that I do baby and I treat it very carefully. I'm very delicate with this bag, so I like to hold it and just hold it away from things. I'm not placing it down anywhere or just letting it sway in the wind. It has little feet at the bottom, so if you do set it down on a table, it is somewhat protected, and the bottom is just the rose gold leather. An exquisite piece. This is perfect for a birthday, anniversary, holiday party. Other than that, She is staying inside in the box, and I'm just appreciating her at home. When I do wear it out, the bag is the outfit. Everything revolves around the bag. This is the statement piece. I don't want anything taking away from the bag. Not that it even could, but she is a conversation piece for sure. I've held on to all of the packaging, all of the tags, and when I ordered this, I included a little card to myself. It says, "Happy 35th birthday, Erin. Keep reaching for the stars. You are unstoppable," which is a nice little detail that I included for myself. My most expensive handbag purchase to date for my 35th birthday, and I just celebrated a 38th birthday, so 3 years later. Priorities have definitely changed. I would not be splurging on a piece like this now, so I'm very appreciative to younger me for treating myself to a special bag like this. When it comes to very ornate, very detailed pieces like this, I don't think any brand is doing it better than Dior. I mean, just look at that bejeweled lipstick case that they just created. The attention to detail, the attention to craftsmanship and artistry and creating something exquisite and beautiful, just because that to me is like the epitome of luxury. One of my best luxury purchases, because it's obviously one of the most beautiful pieces I have ever seen. One of my worst luxury purchases, because instead of being smart and wise and purchasing at Selfridges the first time I saw it, I wanted to wait, I wanted to think about it, and when I got home to the US, I could not stop thinking about this bag, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna treat myself as a birthday gift. I found it online, and I just ordered this bag directly from Dior.com. Like an idiot. No relationship building with the sales associate, no extra gifts or goodies or champagne. I missed out on the entire in-store experience. And I didn't get any sort of discount or savings purchasing in Europe versus the United States. It wasn't my smartest luxury purchase, but one that I don't regret because it's simply the most beautiful bag I have ever laid eyes on, and I feel so happy to have it in my collection. And that completes part 2. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. Should I work on a part 3? I think I have enough, so let me know if you'd be interested. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be down below in the description box and tagged directly to the video for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.